Hi everyone, welcome to this week, Art Weekly. Can you believe this time last year I bought my very first cheese plant with the help from the lovely Carlos. It hasn't died. Amazing to think that a year has gone by. I'll put Carlos in the water or put water through so it can drain. And I think I'll start with a little bit on hyacinths here. Apron would be good. Isn't colour amazing? Immediately I've put that blue down. It's helped, I think. So, and my feeling, having sat for a few days, my feeling is maybe to drop in yellow. I could go quite bright. And I always like this yellow because it works so nicely as a glaze. So I can see what's underneath. And I like that effect. Let's see what that looks like. I think that lifts it considerably. When we were in Seville, we went to the Fine Art Museum. It's a beautiful building. All the buildings were beautiful, the architecture. So as well as this beautiful building, they have old masters, Spanish painters. Murillo has a lot of work there, a lot of religious work, big paintings, beautiful paintings. But what completely took my attention was a whole line of ladies from the workshop of, I've just said it and I've forgotten it. Zurbarán, from the workshop of Zurbarán. The ladies from court wearing these amazing dresses, but the detail on the fabric absolutely blew me away. And I found myself homing in on the colours and the texture. Colour and texture. All the paintings that went down for the Mother's Day weekend exhibition, they were stored in Craig's workshop because we had no time. It was get packed and get to Seville. So they're back up here. They've still all got their protective corners on at the moment, but it has given me a chance to have a look at one or two things, old friends that I haven't seen for a really, really long time. And one of them, I'll grab it. A viewer commented on an old video. This guy, I'd forgotten all about her, the bather. It was a transcription piece. So the danger of stacking your work, but you can't have literally everything in your eyeline. So I'm glad to have her. I'll keep her out and just decide if she's finished or not. I don't know why I haven't taken her out to show that, amongst a few other things that I am looking at that I'm thinking do need attention. I'll grab it. This has just been sitting. Foxgloves, the foxgloves down in Cornwall, and I can look at it now and really see that is not enough. I don't know what I was quite thinking. I'm often very enthusiastic. So even if I go wrong, I'm doing it enthusiastically. But I can see, I know why I haven't been taking that out. It's I got very excited about these simple green marks, but there's just not enough. It's just off. So that one also needs some attention. I'm happy down here, and I thought, oh, they sit nicely together. I haven't worked on the cliffs for a while, so there's so much to be getting on with. Chairs and the pots. Looking at my pots this morning, I really am. I'm drawn to this lovely teal. The other question I've been asking myself is, do I want to drop in something of the ground? Do I want anything to come from the pot? So still mulling over what is the best thing to do. The best thing to do, I think, is to continue with where we left off last week with sketchbook. If I can develop these up, it might give me some clues as to what I might want to do over here. Round two. We mean business when we've got our rubber gloves. I've taken the whole morning, but a brilliant clean up. I've got some smalls hanging. I'm going to photograph those, and in the clean area, and then coming down, workstation is all sorted. But it was this corner that I particularly wanted to free up. So other than a little bit of work on boards there, I've put lots away. So this table, it slides on these mats. The one thing that I've discovered that I do really love having the brushes laid out. When I wash them, I bring them up, and I always put a piece of kitchen towel, and just let them sit here. Tools. So I really like this table being free, even though I've got some space to work on the side, and I can move it in, I can move it around. So it's amazing. You think, right, I've cracked it, but you keep evolving. It depends what you're working on, and you keep making little discoveries of what helps you when you're working. I had it in my mind that I'd have a dry area to work on cards and things. What I thought would be a good idea, in reality, hasn't happened. I always work on the cards and paperwork in the house. What am I trying to say? When I'm up here, I just want to paint, exclusively, I think. So other than when I'm doing things on that table. I'm absolutely horrified by that foxglove painting. I'm looking at it, I put it back down there because I couldn't bear looking at it here. I really am going to have to do something. I don't know what I was thinking with that. And yet other things that I've unburied that I'm looking at, I think, oh, how did I do that? I like that. I've just uncovered, there's always something. I've just uncovered scissors, that's the usual thing, and a box of wheels. Ages ago I talked about getting some wheels for this older easel, and I've just found them. So hopefully, I don't know where Craig is, but I'm going to see if he can help me get the wheels, get the easel wheeling. Right, I'm going to go and find him. The easel spin. Wow, how cool is that? I'm absolutely over the moon. Oh, that is going to make life so much easier up here. Really good. It really is lunch now. Morning, everyone. I had some thoughts last night on the foxglove painting. The first thing I'm going to do is free it from the frame. Craig spends time putting these things together and painting them, and I don't want to get paint on it. So I made some notes, and in response to what was I thinking, at the time we were in Cornwall and I'd made some sketches in my sketchbook, and I thought, well, the first thing to do then is go back to that sketchbook and dig out those sketchbook pages. So the other things I wrote down were, do I want to go back to that original source? Do I want it to be foxgloves? And if so, I've got some options. I can just put fresh foxgloves on the top of what's already there and treat what I've got there as a ground. Do I like the colour? I do like the colours. It feels very vibrant. So I want to try and hang on to some of that vibrancy. The composition. I think the composition is the big problem with the painting. It's not interesting enough. It's not saying enough of anything. That's my feeling. What could it say? And then the biggie, the usual option is to say, shall I treat it as a new beginning? Shall I move away from foxgloves? Shall I take the colour, and when it's freed from the frame, shall I just treat it as a ground and see what marks might go down and treat it as a new beginning? So a bit different. I've pushed on, I've put paint on, I've taken paint off, I've been pulling paint around, and it's very, very wet now. A lot of paint on there. So what I'm going to do, let that dry, and I'll leave it. I'm in no rush. I've tackled it. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I've re-engaged. I can go somewhere with it, and I will keep in this foxglove theme, and just see what comes. What I did do while I had all that wet paint, too much wet paint, I did take some very rough two very, very rough monoprint pages, and I just pressed them into the paint that I had on that canvas, and I'm quite excited to respond to that. So that's what you're doing. You're putting paint down, putting marks down, stepping away, and then you're responding in your own way. And put him up there. so that when I walk in and when I get some distance, I can see it. I don't know if that's straight, but I can see it and kind of gauge it, get to see it from a distance as well as being on top of it. Okay, I'll have a little clear up and move on to the next thing. I just thought, while I've got some excess paint, can I use it on these? I'm in the house, it's freezing outside, where the temperatures have dropped again. I'm having a play. I've been dabbing about this morning, just experimenting with colour and trying to get a feel for where this might like to go. I'm often asked about colour, and I have a whole tray of paint and I just mix colours on the canvas or on the paper. You just have to experiment, really. I haven't got a formula for colour. I'm just prepared to have a look at what might work. The colour swatches are really useful. They're on the trolley. They are really useful. The other thing that I find really useful, I keep all my offcuts. These guys, have got different colours on. Sometimes that can be really useful as well. I've been trying to collate all my odd paperwork, all my odd bits and pieces. I don't discount anything. I see things in magazines and I think, oh, I like those colours. Just hang on to things because it's all really useful stuff. I'd forgotten all about this piece. This is a lovely piece of watercolour paper. That's quite nice. So something of that in there. So I could keep that out just as a reference. If I just want to calm things down, that makes me feel calm. I've amazingly, I don't know how long it'll last, but I've cleared the kitchen table. I'm feeling more and more organised and it's such a good feeling. Thinking more about modifying a painting, changing up a painting, making progress with a painting. If it doesn't sing, if you're not happy with it. So thinking about my foxglove painting, I think it's what we already know. Ways of creating interest through contrast, contrasting colour, contrasting shapes, big and small, plain areas, patterned areas, and the overall composition. I've worked up a little bit more. I've decided I do like this black and white floor that I've used or attempted before. What I am really pleased about is that I haven't had to make much of an adjustment on the actual flowers. And I like where this chair is now. So, it's just a question of continually assessing, not rushing, just and not being scared, I think, to put down as many layers of paint as it needs, as it takes. I will continue in the cabin on foxgloves for next week and continue with the pots and the chairs. Those other chairs have had no attention. So, plenty going forward. Whatever you're working on, if you are modifying or changing up, just try and feel free with it. Yeah, try to be relaxed with it, I think. That's it. It's like learning to swim. I can remember having lessons and the swimming instructor saying, if you relax, your breathing, you won't sink, you'll float. So relax with your painting and you'll get to the other end of the pool. You will get to the other end, you'll get to the other side of it. Have a great, I'm waffling away now. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.